Let's look at the solutions of quality quant questions for week 29. This week it is a sectional test of sorts, and questions from all areas, everything is presented within this week's list of questions. Let's get to them. Couple took a loan from ICICI Bank of 33,100 to be paid in 3 equal installments at the rate of 10% per annum, compounded annually. Due to the pandemic, he could not pay the third installment and hence defaulted on the loan in the third year. A fine of 15% was charged on the outstanding amount for the default. If Kapil paid all dues at the end of the fourth year, and if interest was levied annually on the outstanding amount, even after default at 10% per annum, then how much did Kapil pay in the fourth year? Round the value to the nearest integer. Okay. So first we have to figure out what will be his equal installment. So 33100 compounding at the rate of 10% for 3 years means 1.1 raised to the power 3 should be equal to installment paid at the end of the first year into 1.21 plus installment paid at the end of the second year into 1.1 plus installment paid at the end of the third year. This will help us get to the value of every installment. So we get 33100 into 1.331 is equal to 3.31a. Absolutely wonderful. So I can get rid of this by 100. I can do get rid of this 331. This will turn to 100. So I will have every installment is equal to 133,100. Every installment that he has to pay will be equal to, sorry, I've gone too far away, not double zero, just one single zero. 13,310 is every installment. So at the end of the third year, he was unable to pay 13,310. And then he is levied a penalty of 15%. So you'll have to pay 13310 into 1.15, which is 23 by 20, and 10% per annum. So 10% per annum interest rate is also charged. So into 11 by 10. And this will be the final amount that he has to end up making a payment. I can get rid of this. I can get rid of this. I'll have 1331 into 23 into 11 divided by 20, which is equal to 16837.15. This is the final payment he has to make at the end of the fourth year. Because you have to round it to the nearest integer, the correct answer will be option A. Next one now. Amia is playing a game of dice where 2 dice are rolled. If the sum of dice is greater than 7, he makes ₹5. If it is less than 7, he pays the dealer ₹5. If it is exactly equal to 7, then neither makes any money. What is the expected payoff for Amia? Okay, look at this. When you roll 2 dice, the possibilities are either you get a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or a 5 or a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or a 9 or a 10 or a 11 or a 12. Now you get 2 when you have 1, 1. So there is just one case in which you get a sum of 2. There are 2 cases when you get a sum of 3. The cases being 1, 2, 2, 1. For 4, you have 1, 3, 2, 2 and 3, 1. So you have 3 cases when you get 4. For 5, you have 5, you have 1, 4, 2, 3, 3, 2 and 4, 1. So you have 4 cases for them. For 6, you will have 1, 5, 2, 4, 3, 3, 4, 2 and 5, 1. So 5 cases. Now before we do it for 7, look at the other extreme. Look at the other extreme. In how many ways can you get 12 when you roll 2 dice? Just one case, 6, 6. 5, I was trying to be lazy, but I think I should write it down. You get 1, 1 here. You get 6, 6 here. The one case. For 3, 3, you get 1, 2, 2, 1. And for 11, you will have two cases, 6, 5 and 5, 6. For 4, you will have 1, 3, 2, 2 and 3, 1. For 10, you will have cases of 6, 4, 5, 5 and 4, 6. Why I've written it in this manner is hopefully you can see 1 is the mirror image of 6 on a dice. 1 is the mirror image of 6 on a dice. On the top surface, if you have 1, on the bottom surface, you will have 6. So 1, 6, 1, 6, and 2 is the mirror image of 5, and 3 is the mirror image of 4. So, however many cases you are getting for the first 5, precise same number of cases you will get for the bottom 5 also. You will have 1 case here, 2 cases here, 3 cases here, 4 cases here, 5 cases here. If you want to write all of them now, we can also do that. In fact, I'll go ahead and write it down. I've done 6 and 6, 12 are already run, 24 more cases are left. So let me just write it down. 9 would be 6, 3, 5, 4, 4, 5, and 3, 6. For 5, I will have 1, 4, 2, 3, 3, 2, and 4, 1. For 6, I'll have 1, 5, 2, 4, 3, 3, 4, 4, 2, and 5, 1. Similarly, for 8, we'll have 6, 2. Hopefully, you can see the mirroring impact. 6, 2, 5, 3, 4, 4, 3, 5, and 2, 6. And finally, for 7, there are precisely 6 cases. 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 4, 4, 3, 5, 2, and 6, 1. The other learning you can potentially get from here is whenever you roll X number of dice, the sum at the extremes come equal number of times, the sum next to the extremes come equal number of times, and this number keeps on increasing. It increases in an arrow form. The middle value will come maximum number of times. The other cases will come. The other cases will be in arrow form, reducing in either direction. Let's say if we rolled, this was 2 dice. If we rolled 3 dice, then 10, then the minimum sum would be 3. The maximum sum would be 18. If I rolled 3 dice, minimum sum would be 3, maximum sum would be 18. Then middle number will not be a unique one. It will be 10 and 11. Then you'll see it will be something like this. The middle cases would come maximum number of times. The other cases would come fewer times when you move away from the center. Now, this is all part of basic theory. When you're solving this question in an exam board, the expectation is the cases for sum being greater than 7 and sum being less than 7 is going to be identical, and it is expected you know this beforehand. With that expectation, with that knowledge, you would know that the expected outcome for both these cases is going to be identical. Here you are getting money. For 15 cases, you earned 5 rupees. For 15 cases, you lost 5 rupees. And for this, there was a 0 payoff. So what is the expected payoff for Amia over the long run? It is precisely 0. Okay. Next question. On a sum of money, the simple interest, the rate of interest R for 2 years is same as the compound interest, rate of interest, capital R, for the same time period. What is the relation between the rates of interest? Okay. The first thing I will do is I can see all the options. All the options are pretty much in variable form only. So I can take any value. I can absolutely take any value and my work will be fine. So what I'm taking is I'm taking compound interest rate of this capital R is 10. So if my principal, let's say was 100, my compound rate of interest was 10. So in 2 years, the amount will be 121, 1.21 into 100, which means this is under CI. So under SI, principal is the same, amount is the same. So my rate of interest will be 10.5 now. 21 rupees earned in 2 years, 10.5. Sorry, this is not capital R, this is small r. For simple interest, according to the question, was small r. So now we have to go ahead and just see which of these equations get satisfied with these values. Capital R plus 100 is 110. And right hand side is 10,000 plus 200R. 105 into 20, 2100. So I get 10,000 plus 2100 under root, which is under root of 12100, which is indeed equal to 110. The first option itself is getting satisfied. This should be the answer. For peace of mind, let us also check the other options. R minus 100. 10 minus 100 will give me minus 90. And I have to see 10,000 minus 200 R. So I will have 10,000 minus 2100. 7,900 under root. Clearly, this is not valid. Here I'll have 10 is equal to 12100 under root. This is also not valid. And of course, it is determinable. Of course, it is determinable. And therefore, by simply assuming values, you can reduce your work tremendously and get to the right answer fairly quickly. Okay, next question now. Okay. Peter divided some amount of money among his two sons and two daughters in the ratio 1/9 is to 1/17 is to 1/11 is to 1/13. The difference between the highest amount and the lowest amount is 5720. What is the total amount distributed? Now, this is a question in which all it requires you to do is a little bit of calculation. So you can perhaps use a calculator or do it yourself if you're comfortable with mental arithmetic. So first thing we do is we write down this ratio. And then instead of keeping it in the fractional form, we try to turn it into integral ratio. So here I will need 17, 11, and 13. All of these numbers are relatively prime to each other. 17, 11, and 13. So 17 into 13 is 221. 221 into 11 will be 2210 and 221. So we get 2431 is to 9 into 11 into 13. 9 into 11 is 99. 99 into 13 is 1287. Then we will have 17 into 13 into 9. 17 into 13 I know to be 220. So this time I'll have to simply do a subtraction. So 0 minus 1 gives me 9. 0 minus 2 gives me 8. 21. 1989 I'll get. 1989. And now I have to do 17 into 11 or 17 into 9. 153 into 11. So 1530. 153. So 3861. 1683. I've got my final ratio. You can, of course, use the calculator. Now, we are told the difference between the highest amount and the lowest amount. This is the highest amount. This is the lowest amount. Difference between them is how much? 1 minus 7 is 4. 2 minus 8 is 4. 3 minus 2 is 1. And 2 minus 1 is 1. Right now, the difference between these two is 1144. But I need that difference to be 5720. 1144 into most likely 5, no? 5720. So if I multiply this by 5, I need to multiply every term here by 5. So I'm being lazy now. 2431 plus 1287 plus 1989 plus 1683 is equal to this. So into 5 will give me my answer. The total amount distributed will be 36,950 among the 4 kids. Okay. Next one now. A stone dropped from sky falls 5 t square meters in t seconds. If it is dropped from a height of 245 meters, how much distance does it travel in the last 2 seconds before hitting the ground? Okay. For how many seconds does it travel? Let's see. It is dropped from a height of 245 meters. So the distance traveled 245 is equal to 5t square. Just to figure out how much total time is taken. So 5 and 5 cancel gives me 49. So our stone has traveled for 7 seconds in total. T square is 49. So our stone has traveled for 7 seconds in total. So how much has it traveled in the last 2 seconds? Whatever it has traveled in the whatever it has traveled in the first 5 seconds, I'll remove first 5 seconds. How much has it traveled? 5 into 5 square, 125. This was traveled in first 5 seconds. The stone has traveled for a total of 245 meters in 7 seconds. It has traveled 125 in first 5 seconds. So in the last 2 seconds, it traveled 245 minus 125, 120 meters. That's it. Next. Karan, Charan, and Madan run along a straight line with speeds of 3 meter per second, 7 meter per second, and 10.5 meters per second, respectively. Okay. Karan has a speed of 3, Charan has a speed of 7, Madan has a speed of 10.5. Charan starts 15 seconds after Karan. Charan starts 15 seconds after Karan. Okay. Madan starts 20 seconds after Karan. Madan starts 20 seconds after Karan. Okay. Charan reaches the finish line 11 seconds after Madan. Charan reaches the finish line 11 seconds after Madan. Okay. So now pay attention. See, start time for Start time for Karan, Charan, Madan. If I say start time for Karan was X, Charan started 15 seconds after this, X plus 15, and Madan started X plus 20. And time, I know Charan reaches the finish line 11 seconds after Madan. So if Madan reaches the finish line at Y, Charan reaches it at Y plus 11. Okay. So now the wonderful thing that we can potentially take care of or look at is the ratio of speed of Charan is to Madan. Speeds. The ratio of speed of Charan is to Madan is 7 is to 10.5, or more simply 2 is to 3. The ratio of speed is 2 is to 3. So the ratio of times of Charan and Madan should be 3 is to 2. 3 is to 2. Now, in terms of time taken by Charan, difference in their times. Can you see the difference in their times? Time taken by Charan is Y minus X minus 4, and time taken by Madan is Y minus X minus 20. The difference in their times is 16 seconds. The difference in their times is 16 seconds. If that is 16 seconds, the ratio of their times is 3 to 2. The difference in the ratio is 16 seconds, or time taken by Charan is actually 48 seconds. Time taken by Madan is 32 seconds. If this difference is 16 seconds, Time taken by Charan is 48 seconds. Time taken by Madan is 32 seconds. So if time taken by Madan is 32 seconds, 32 into 10.5 or 21 by 2 into 32, 21 into 16 is 336 meters. This is the length of the race. You could also use Charan's time, 7 into 48 will get us to 336 meters. The length of the race is now known. Okay. Lots of things are known. Now, how long after Charan reaches the finish line does Karan reach the finish line? Let's see. If our Charan reaches the finish line, does Karan reach the finish line? Karan will take how much time? 336 by... No. Charan reaches the finish line in x plus 15 plus how much time does it take? 48. So he'll reach the finish line in x plus 63. The timing when he reaches the finish line is x plus 63. For Karan, he has to travel 336 by 3, which is 112. So he will reach the finish line at x plus 112. He starts at x, reaches the finish line at x plus 112. He starts at x plus 15, he reaches the finish line at x plus 63. So how much time after Charan finishes the race does Karan reach the finish line? It will be difference of these two times. Basically, x and x will cancel, so 112 minus 63. Our final answer will be 49 seconds. It will take 49 seconds after Charan reaches the finish line for Karan to reach the finish line. Answer is 49 seconds. Next. The salaries of A, B, C, D are in the ratio 1.1 is to 3 is to 3, 3.3 is to 4. Okay. If the salaries of A and B are increased by 11%, 21% respectively, and that of C and D are decreased by 32% and 1% respectively, find the ratio of their new salaries. Let's first write this ratio in the proper form. It will be 11 is to 30 is to 33 is to 40. This way, 11 is to 30 is to 33 is to 40. Now, A and B are being increased by 11% and 21%. So, I will have 11 into 1.11 is to 30 into 1.21 is to 33 into 0.68 because this is a decrease by 32%. And finally, 40 into 0.99. Once you've reached here, you'll also realize these two decimal spots are not that great. Let us remove the decimal spots. Let me get rid of the decimal from every ratio. We can still operate nicely. Okay. Now you can see 11 is common throughout. I'll get rid of 11 from here. This will turn to 11. This will become 3. This will become 9. Seems okay. Now you can perhaps see 3 is also common everywhere. This will turn to 37. This will turn to 110. This will be reduced to 68. This will become 40 into 3 or 120. Or the final ratio obtained is, of course, option D. Very straightforward. Just that this is not a question worth using the calculator on. This is a question on which direct writing down of numbers is more than enough. Next, a dishonest dealer purchases goods at 20% discount of the cost price of X and also cheats his wholesaler by getting 20% extra through false weighing per kg. Then he marks up his goods by 80%, but he gives a discount of 25%. Besides, he cheats his customer by weighing 10% less than required. What is his overall profit percentage? Okay. I'm saying let the original price be from when he's buying, let it be 100 gram. The cost price being for 100 gram being 100 rupees. Okay. A dishonest dealer purchases goods at 20% discount. So he's getting 100 grams currently at 50 rupees. And also cheats his wholesaler by getting 20% extra through false weighing. So not only is he getting 100 grams, he's now getting 120 gram for 80 rupees. 120 gram for 80 rupees. So CP for 1 gram is 2 by 3. Effectively for him, CP for 1 gram is 2 by 3. Okay. Then he marks up his goods by 80%. He marks up his good by 80%. So on paper, what he is charging is 100 gram, marked price wise, 100 gram ke liye 180 rupees. But he gives a discount of 25%. If he gives a discount of 25%, 3/4 of 180 is 135. So for 100 grams, he is claiming he is, and this is MP, but this is claimed SP. Besides, he cheats his customer by weighing 10% less than the required. Oh, so he's only giving away 90 grams for 135 rupees. He's giving away 90 grams for 135 rupees. So SP for 1 gram will be equal to 135 by 90, which is equal to 3 by 2. So now see, CP for 1 gram is 2 by 3. SP for 1 gram is 3 by 2. So can I say profit will be equal to 3 by 2 minus 2 by 3. So 9 minus 4 by 6, which is equal to 5 by 6. So his profit percentage will be 5 by 6, whole thing divided by 2 by 3 into 100. So 6 and this one becomes 2, comes down. 5 by 4 into 100 or 125%. 5 into 25. 125%. His overall profit percentage will be 125 only. Okay. Okay. A solution of 1 liter consists of 2 liquids A and B in the ratio 2:3. Okay. 1 minute, I can't find my pen. Okay. A solution of 1 liter consists of 2 liquids A and B in the ratio 2:3. From this, 50% of the solution is first drawn out and then replaced with liquid B. Okay. So if A and B are there, you have, let's say, 200 liters of this and 300 liters of this. If I take out 50% of the solution is taken out, so 100 will be left here and then 150 will be left here, and it is replaced with B. So 250B will come in. So we'll finally have a situation of 100A and 400B. After that, 40% of the solution is drawn out and replaced with liquid B. 40% is drawn out. So 60 left here and 240 left here. And then 200B is added back. So you get 260 and 440. Okay. Then 30% of the solution is drawn out and replaced with liquid B. 30% is drawn out. So 18 gone from here. So 42 left here. And 132 gone from here. 132 gone from here. So 308 left here. So 18 and 132. 150 is gone. 150 will be left back. So we'll reach a situation of 42A and 458B left. Okay. Now, what percentage of this resultant solution should be replaced with liquid A such that the concentration of A and B in the final solution is same as that of the initial solution? Round the answer to the nearest integer. Okay, so see what is happening. Now, Finally, we want this to reach 300. So 458 has to come down to 300. 42 will come down to something, and the whatever amount has been taken out will be replenished with A. So 458 has to come down to 300. So 158 out of 458 will go out. And this is the portion of the solution that is being taken away. 158 by 458, this should be very close to 1/3. So 34% or 36%, one of these will be the answer. 158 divided by 458 will give us the precise answer, which is 34.49. This is 34.49%. So answer will be option B, 34%. Answer will be option B, 34%. Next, 2 deodorant bottles are on the shelf. One is Tax E deodorant and the other brand is Max E deodorant. Okay. They are both leaking. Initially, Taxi has 300 ml more deodorant than Maxi. After 100 milliliter of deodorant leaks out of each bottle, Maxi has half as much as Taxi. At this point, how much deodorant does Taxi have? Okay. Let's say Taxi initially had 300 more than Maxino. So if this is X, this is X plus 300. 100 is drained out from both. So 100 X minus 100 and X plus 200 is left here. Okay. Now Maxi is half as much as Taxi. X minus 100 by X plus 200 is equal to 1 by 2. So gap of 300. So this is 600. X is 400. X is 400. Let's go ahead. Solve it also properly. X comes here. X is equal to 400. So initially there were 700 of Taxi, 400 of Maxi. Then there were 600 of Taxi and 300 of Maxi. How much deodorant does Taxi have? At this point, how much does Taxi have? So this 600 is the answer that we are seeking. Option B will be the right answer. Okay. Next question. In the given figure, ABCD is a square. AE is to EB is 5:2. 5x, 2x. DF is to FC, 6:1. 6y, y. DG is to GC is 1:1. Z is to Z. And DH is to HA is 4:3. So 4A, 3A. So this side is a multiple of 7, multiple of 7, multiple of 7, multiple of 2. So every side I'll take to be 14. So AE will be 10, this will be 4, this will be 12, this will be 2, this will be 7, this will be 7, this will be 8, and this will be 6. Find the ratio of area of polygon EFGH and the square ABCD. Square ABCD has an area of 196. Now, in order to find out the area of EFGH, we will remove the area of the 4 triangles. Area of this triangle, 10 into 6 by 2, 30. 4 into 7 by 2, 14. 7 into 2, 14 by 2, so 7. And 4 into 12, 48 by 2, so 24. So 21 plus 54, 21 plus 54 is how much? 75. 196 minus 75 will get me 121, but I don't have any of those numbers. Let me check again. 10 and 6, 30. 4 and 12, 24. 2 and 7, 7. 7 and 4, 14. 54 and 21, 75. Have I made a huge blunder? Let me check once more. 5:2. So I'm taking this as 10. I'm taking this as 4. 6 is to 1, so 12 and 2. DG is to GC is 1 is to 1. So 7 is to 7. And DH is to HA, 4 is to 3. So 8 and 6. Okay, so this number was wrong. This number was wrong. 10 into 6, half of that is 30. 4 into 12, half of that is 24. 2 into 7, half of that is 7. And 7 into 8, half of this is 28. So it should be 54 plus 35. 54 plus 35 is 89. 196 minus 89 gets me to 107 by 196. This should be the answer. Okay. Next. Given the sides of a triangle are 14, 16, and 18, find the product of the perimeter of the triangle and the in radius of the triangle. Okay. See, I know in radius of the triangle into semi-perimeter is equal to area, but they are asking me product of the perimeter. So, the semi-perimeter I can write as perimeter by 2 is equal to area. In radius into perimeter by 2 is equal to area. Wonderful. Area I can figure out because 3 side lengths are given to me. I can use the Heron's formula to calculate the area. 14 plus 16 plus 18 is 48. So semi-perimeter is 24. So area will be equal to under root of 24 into 10 into 8 into 6. So let's break this down. 8 into 3 into 2 into 5 into 16 into 3. So 8 and 2, these 3 will give me 16. These 2 will give me 3 and I'll have a root 5. Area is equal to 48 root 5. I can replace that here. In radius into perimeter by 2 is 48 root 5. Or the final product in radius into perimeter is 96 root 5. Option B. Next, what is the maximum value of the expression? Okay, now see here, if I'm looking for the maximum value of the expression, see the denominator has unreal roots. The denominator has unreal roots, which means it will always have a positive value. It will always have a positive value. Because b square minus 4ac is less than 0. The denominator has unreal roots. It will always be, the denominator will always return a positive value. If it is always returning a positive value, for the maximum value of the expression, I need to minimize this. How can I minimize this? 1 by x square minus 6s. Completing the square is the method. I5, I get 1 by x minus 3 whole square plus 5. So when x is equal to 3, then this fraction will attain its maximum value, or the maximum value of this fraction is 1 by 5, option D. Next question. What is the volume of water in a rectangular lake of length 300 meters and breadth 200 meters if its depth increases gradually from 50 meter at one bank to 100 meter at the other bank along the breadth? Okay. Now see, I'm saying whatever is the base, at one place you have a height of 50, at another place you have a height of 100. So essentially what you have are one cuboid with dimensions of 300, 250, and another place you have a cuboid of dimensions 300, 200, and 100. But for this part, sorry, this is also 50 only. 1 minute. This entire thing is 100. This entire thing is 100. So if this is 50, this will also be 50. So if I can complete, both of these are cuboid. This is full cuboid. This is half the cuboid. So can I go ahead and simply do, let me find out the volume of this cuboid and multiply it by 1.5. Volume of this cuboid will be 50 into 200 into 300, and then 1 full and 1 half. So into 3 by 2. Cancel, cancel, becomes 100. 3 into 3 into 5 is 45, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be the total volume of water present, or the correct answer is option D. Next, what is the remainder when 2 raised to the power 144 is divided by 6? Okay. 2 raised to the power 144. 2 raised to the power 1 leaves a remainder of 2. 2 square leaves a remainder of 4. 2 cube leaves a remainder of 2. 2 raised to the power 4 leaves a remainder of 4. So you can clearly see the cyclicity is of 2. Whenever the power is odd, you get a remainder of 2. Whenever the power is even, you get a remainder of 4. Here, clearly the power is even. So the remainder is 4. You don't need to check anything further. Okay. Next, how many points in the region enclosed by y is greater than equal to x minus 5 mod and y is less than equal to 5 have integral coordinates? Okay. Let us try to somehow make a for this, the graph will go something like at 5, slope of 1, slope of 1 will keep on going, and y is less than equal to 5 would mean the other line is 1 minute. Y is less than equal to 5. But before we go there, can you figure out the coordinates of this point? Slope is 1. The value here is 0. When you take 5 steps leftwards, value here should be 5 only. This is 5 on the y-axis. This is 5 on the y-axis. So now when we have the line y is less than equal to 5, this is the line that will get created. And what we are expected to do is calculate the points within this region. Within this region, what all integral points exist. Okay. Now the perfect way of counting the points in this region is like this. See, this is 1 point. If I go down, there will be 1 point at 0, at 1, at 2, at 3, at 4. If I go down, if 0, 5 is 1 point, 1, 5 will also be a point. Additionally, 1, 4 and 1, 6 will also be a point. At one layer, you get 1 point. At the next layer, you get 3 points. Then we go further down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll get 5 points. Then we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. And hopefully by now the trend is apparent to you. We get 9 points. And finally we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points. We'll get 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Altogether, we will get 6 into 6, 36 points. There are going to be 36 points that have integral coordinates within this setup. Very, very straightforward storyline. This counting mechanism of 1, 3, 5, this is increasing in steps of perfect squares only. This is something that you must have already done. Next. There are 5 different chocolates which are to be shared by 3 persons, Ravi, Raju, and Rajiv. Find the number of ways of distributing the chocolates such that each person gets at least 1 chocolate. Okay. Let's say chocolates with Ravi is 5, A, chocolates with Raju is B, and chocolates with Rajiv is C. I'm saying A, B, C. You can either distribute it in 3, 1, 1 ways or 1, 2, 2 ways. Who gets 3, who gets 1? You can, of course, make new cases for that. You can perhaps write this down also. 3, 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, 3, or 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. These are the only 3, 1, 1 and 2, 2, 1 are the only ways in which 5 chocolates can be given to 3 people, such that each one of them ends up with at least 1 chocolate. Now, even for accomplishing this, how can I do this? Out of the 5, I have to select 3 which are going to Ravi, and then 2 chocolates that are left, they can go to Raju or Rajiv in 2 factorial ways. So 5C3 is 10. 10 into 2, this is 20. And if this is 20, hopefully you can see this will also be 20. This will also be 20. Nothing more needs to be done. So these 3 cases altogether give us 60 cases in total. Then for 2, 2, 1. Here, see the terms that I'm using. 5C4 or 5C4 into 4C2 divided by 2 factorial and I'm guessing this should be enough. 10, 6, 2. Absolutely wonderful. See what I'm doing. First, I'm selecting 4 chocolates which are going to kids who have 2 chocolates, which are going to people who have 2 chocolates. Which 4 chocolates are going to people who have 2 chocolates? Now, among those 4 chocolates, I'm making groups of 2 chocolates each, 4C2 and 2C2. However, I'm not writing 2C2 because it is equal to 1 only. Among those 4 chocolates, I'm making a group of 2 chocolates and another group of 2 chocolates. Making a group of 2 chocolates and another group of 2 chocolates. Now, these chocolates can be these groups of 2 chocolates that have been created. For which person am I making this group? That can be for the first person also, can be for the second person also, could be for A also, could be for B also. So, how do I ensure that I'm not including a double count? When let's say the 4 chocolates, let's say the chocolates were named P, M, N, O, Q. So the first 4 chocolates I've picked up are P, M, N, O. So if I give A, P, M, and I give B, N, O, versus me giving B, N, O, and automatically A gets P, M, these are the same cases. If I simply do 4C2, both these cases would be counted separately. By doing 2 factorial, this double count is being adjusted. Once I adjust this double count, I will get my precise value. See, the 1 chocolate that was left has gone to the third person. That has automatically been taken care of. Now, first I'm selecting 4 chocolates that are going to people who take 2 chocolates each. Then among those 4 chocolates, I'm making groups of 2. And then whether this first group goes to the first person or to the second person, that can happen in 2 ways, but it is not really ideal because this first group is not first by definition. This first group or this first group, both of these can take place. Therefore, I divided by 2 factorial. Get to my answer. This gives us 10 into 6 by 2, which is equal to 30. And once this is 30, this will also be 30. This will also be 30. Or for these 3 cases, I get an overall storyline of 90. 60 plus 90, the final answer will be 150. I'm thinking perhaps if I can maybe, there are other ways to write these down as well. Let's say for 2 to 1, I could also do this. I'll do 5C1. I'll do 5C1 first. Identify 1 chocolate that is going to the person who's getting 1 chocolate given. Then for the 4 chocolates that are left, no, let's not do it this way. Let's do it slightly separately. 5C2 into 4C2. Sorry, 5C2 into 3C2, 5C2 into 3C2. First, I'm selecting 2 chocolates to be given to the first person. Then I'm selecting 2 chocolates out of the remaining 3 to be given to the second person. Then I divide this by 2 factorial. And then I have to multiply this by 2 factorial also in order to arrive at the final answer. Basically, the point I was trying to make, forget this new version. The point I'm trying to make, you may not necessarily have the same precise order of thinking. With PNC, it is a beautiful idea that you may not necessarily think in the precise same manner with the other person who is giving you the question. But as long as your final number is matching, the process that you've engaged in is perfectly all right. It is something that is especially unique with PNC. The ways in which people think are drastically diverse. So just because it is not 5C4 and 4C2 for you, it does not mean you thought the wrong way. There are other ways in which you can arrive at the answer. Okay. Next, if the circumradius of an equilateral triangle is 6 root 3, what is the area of the incircle? Now see, circumradius is to in radius. For an equilateral triangle, circumradius is to in radius is 2:1. So in radius is 3 root 3. Area of the incircle will be pi 3 root 3 whole square. So it will be 27 pi. That's it. Okay. Next. A and B joined a company at the same time. Their annual salaries are in 2 arithmetic progressions since the year they joined. After X years, the ratio of total salaries earned by A and B is 2x plus 1 and 3x plus 2. What is the ratio of the respective salaries in the 9th year? Okay. What we have been given is the ratio of summation, but we are being asked the ratio of the precise year. How can that happen? When this is the middle term. And if 9 is the middle term, 8 prior to it, 8 after it, 1 in between, x has to be equal to 17. All we have to do is replace x with 17 is this ratio and we'll get our final answer. So 2 into 17 plus 1 divided by 3 into 17 plus 2, which will give us 35 by 53. This will be the ratio of the respective salaries in the 9th year. Okay. Next. If ax square plus bx plus 3 equal to 0 is a quadratic equation with real and distinct roots. What does this imply? This implies b square minus 12a is greater than 0. Real and distinct, which means there will be a plus portion of discriminant and there will be a minus portion of discriminant. So b square minus 4ac, because c is already 3, I've written it down directly. B square minus 12a has to be greater than 0. Okay. If A can take different values from the set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and B can take different values from the set 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, the minimum value of the quadratic equation was calculated and it was found to occur when x is greater than minus 1. Okay. When x is greater than minus 1. Now, minimum value of the quadratic is given as x is equal to minus b by 2a. But we are told x is greater than minus 1. Okay. We are also certain, given that we are able to find minimum value of the quadratic, a is necessarily positive. So I can multiply both sides with a. I'll have minus b is greater than minus 2a, or 2a is greater than b. I have another condition here. I have b square greater than 12a and 2a greater than b. For how many ordered pairs of AB is this true? For how many ordered pairs of AB is this true? Let's work. B square has to be greater than 12a and 2a has to be greater than b. So I'll start with AB pairings. Given that list of numbers for B is smaller, I'll fill that up first. 6. 6 square is greater than 12A. So A, 6 square is greater than 12A. It would mean this gives us condition 36 is greater than 12A. So A is less than 3. First condition. And second one, 2A is greater than 6. So A is greater than 3. There is, of course, no number in this range. So we cannot find any possibility here. There will be no case here. I'm calling this condition 1. According to condition 1, 36 had to be greater than 12A. Not happening. And A had to be greater than, 2A had to be greater than 6. So this is also not happening according to condition 2 and condition 1. Let me write down for 7 B square. So A is less than 4 point something something. And also 2A is greater than B. A has to be greater than 3.5. In this range, I can see one value for A possible, which is 4, which is also present. So wonderful. I get first case. Then I have 8. So B, A has to be less than 5 point something something. And A has to be greater than 4. Again, just one case will be possible, which is A being equal to 5. Just one case is possible. How about 9? How about 9? 9 square is greater than 12A. So A is less than 8 point something something. And here A is greater than 4.5. Greater than 4.5, less than 8 something. I can have lots of possibilities. Possibilities being 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. So one case from here, one case from here, 4 cases from here. This is wonderful. Next, B being 10. So A has to be less than, oh, I think I made a mistake. When this is 9, this is 81. 81 is greater than 12. A has to be less than equal to 6 point something something. Has to be less than 6 point something something. So only 2 cases from here. Not lots of cases. 2 cases here. And I was only able to recognize it because 100 by 12 is also 8 point something something. So 81 by 12, how is it that way? 5 and 6 here, possibly. And this is 8.33. If you're that insistent, here A is greater than 5. So possibilities are 6, 7, and 8. Here we get 3 cases. Okay. Finally, B is 11. So A has to be less than 121 by 12. 121 by 12 is less than 10 point something something. Great. And here A has to be greater than 5.5. So again, we'll have 6 and 7 and 8. These are the possibilities. All the exhaustive number of cases have been listed. So we have 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 2, 10. The correct answer to the question is 10. Next, on the first day, a few men started working, and each man completed a few units of work. Starting from the second day, the number of men increased by 6 every day, and the amount of work done per man decreased by 5 every day. This continued till 5 days, and at the end of which total 500 units of work had been done. Find out the total amount of work done on third day. Okay. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And what was happening on men, number of men and work per man. Let's X men, and they completed K units of work per man efficiency. So total work done is XK here. On day 2, number of men increased by 6. So this becomes X plus 6. Amount of work done per man decreases by 5. This becomes K minus 5. So work done here will be XK plus 6K minus 5X minus 30. Next day, X plus 12, X plus 18, X plus 24, K minus 10, K minus 15, K minus 20. Here we will get XK plus 12K minus 10K minus 120, XK plus 18K, not minus 10K here, minus 10X, minus 15X, minus 270, and finally XK plus how much? 24K minus 20X minus 480. We know total work done across all these 5 days was 500 units. So let's add this all up. You will get 5XK plus 60K plus, sorry, minus 50X minus 150 plus 270 is 420 minus 900 is equal to a total of 500. So we bring this over to this side. So we'll have, 5 I can get rid of, but anyway, let me bring this over to this side. 5XK plus 60K minus 50X is equal to 1400. If I divide everything by 5, I'll have XK plus 12K minus 10X is equal to 280. Now this is where attention needs to be paid. Find out the total amount of work done on third day. Third day, the total amount of work done was this much. This is the variable part. I know this variable part to be 280. So the work done on this day is 280 minus 120, or the final answer is 160. What is the value of X? What is the value of K? How much work was done on other days? We don't know, we don't care. The only thing we care for is on day 3, 160 units of work were done. Okay. Next question. 3 men and 4 women can do a piece of work in 5 days. 4 men and 3 women can do the same work in 6 days. Okay. 3 men, 5 days. Efficiency of 1 man being M, 15M plus 20W is equal to 4 men for 6 days. So 24 men and 18 women. Okay. So I can now have 2W is equal to 9 men. 2W is equal to 9 men. So 4 women I can replace with 18 men. So 21 men take 5 days. How many days will 4 men and 4 women, which I can always replace with 18 men. I know 4 women are as good as 18 men. So in how many days will 22 men do it? Okay. So it will be 5 into 21 by 22, which is equal to 105 by 22. So the correct answer is option A. And that is it. We don't need to solve any further. Hopefully you learned something from the set of questions. This 20 and 21 I like. Even 19 is nice. 18 is directly definitional. This is also fairly definitional. This is a question that I'm fairly certain most of us have anyway done in practice of PNC. We would have come across this because this gets tested quite often in different exams. This is very nice. This is fairly straightforward. But then there had to be some representation from number theory. This is easy. This is definitional. This is definitional. This is definitional. This is data recording, data recording, data recording, ratio direct. This is slightly problematic if you don't pay attention to sorts of things that you should. This is straightforward calculation only, assuming values. This is slightly definitional, but I don't think a lot of people would know simply on account of the fact that probability is not a favored topic. And then this is also fairly straightforward. Hopefully you learned something. See you again next week. That will be all. Okay, bye.